Hello and welcome to our webinar, Personalized Help Centers for Product Support. I'm Greer Lynch, VP of Marketing at Mavenoid, and I'm here with Derek Carter, Chief Operating Officer at Frontpoint. Welcome.
Thanks, Greer. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks for being here. Derek, can you briefly introduce yourself and Frontpoint to the audience, what products you offer, who are your customers, and how is Frontpoint using Mavenoid today?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Derek Carter. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Frontpoint Security. I've been with the company just over 2 years now. Prior, I was working with a few larger organizations, Geotab, which is the world's largest commercial telematics provider. Also, started my career at Zappos.com, which has a reputation for building a wow customer experience, and also worked with Netflix and TELUS International. And so in my career, it's brought me to Frontpoint Security, which is a company that is highly focused on delivering a home security product to users at their home, and it allows for home security and home automation. But one of the differentiators for us is we are a do-it-yourself home security company, so we ship it right to the home. We're one of the largest providers in the US and Canada, and we have a high focus on the customer experience, so ensuring that from end to end, they have an amazing experience with the product, with our teams, and engaging through our digital platforms.
Wonderful. Thanks for the overview. And, what are some of the challenges of selling a self-service solution to a high stakes and high complexity problem like home security? I'd imagine there's a brand reputation risk if you get it wrong, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, one of the differentiators for us is also one of our challenges, which, our top competitors have professional installers that go out to the home. And that obviously has challenges in itself, and waiting for somebody to come to the home, having a stranger in your home, drilling into walls, it can lead to damage and problems there. For us, we're able to get the equipment to the customer very quickly, but it is up to the end user to install the equipment and to set it up properly. And so the expectation there is that it's easy to use, that they have the right resources available to them, and if they do need additional help, that they have it ready, available for them, and we're ready to engage. And so the expectation and the challenge there is we need to ensure that we have the right staffing when they do need to speak to somebody, but we also need to have the right digital assets. With us using Mavenoid, it allows for the customer to really resolve their issue up front if they do have any challenges, and sort through the products very quickly, go through flows that are relevant to them, and not have to go through multiple searches to find what they're looking for, which can create frustration and it lead to lack of use of the product if they're not able to get it up and running properly.
Okay, so then can you talk a little bit about Frontpoint's customer support team and how it's structured? And can you share for the audience the team's workflow when you're onboarding a new product?
Yes, absolutely. So our team is structured in a way where we have individuals who are focused on that initial contact, our tier 1 contact. That's for simpler troubleshooting, break fix type of questions. Then we have a tier 2 team that is focused on more of the complex situations when you get into video analytics and setting up exception alerts and home automation. It's a little bit more of a complicated product use case. And so we have team members that are focused on that. And then we have individuals on the team who are focused on creating the assets that are used on the digital side within our app, within the support center. And this is what guides customers who are looking for self-help and going through those initial contact flows. And so when we brought Mavenoid on board, we actually had a big focus on meeting the customers where they're engaging us. And so we have a high amount of our contact where it is coming through a voice, through phone. And so we have flows that are available there right through our IVR, but we also have those that engage us digitally through the app and through the website. And so we have flows that are set up there through our support center. And so we have members of the team that are focused on developing that content and ensuring that it is set up for success.
Great. You touched on your focus on resolution and solving customer issues. So most customer service organizations are focused on deflection, which is increasing the number of support cases that are routed away from a live agent, right? But you're taking a different approach by focusing on the self-service resolution, starting with the customer support journey with a positive intention. Can you talk about that mindset shift and how it's impacted your customer retention rates?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, one of the biggest things up front was ensuring that we have individuals that are ready and available for customers when they contact us. And that was one of our first problems to solve, is just ensuring that we have individuals answering the phone within 30 seconds. But when we brought Mavenoid on board, we were getting smarter with the initial content that allows for customers to solve the problem themselves without having to speak with a live agent. And so for us, unlike other companies who just want to treat customer contact as something they want to avoid, for us, we wanted to ensure that we were gauging that customer outreach and ensuring that it was resolved when they reached us or before they reached us. And the reason for that is, with our product, if they don't have it set up properly and there's a contact deflection, it can lead to them discontinuing use of the product or just unplugging it entirely. And so that leads to our attrition and to customer cancellation. And so it's very important that we're monitoring why customers are engaging, where they're getting stuck, so that we can evolve and further develop that content, but capturing the right data up front. And Mavenoid has helped us to do that through the flows that we've developed. And it's also helped us to monitor where they're abandoning along the way, which is a big area of focus for us, because that, again, can lead to that inactivity and lead to attrition.
That's great. That's really helpful for folks to hear. And, I think that focus on resolution, it's really core to Mavenoid as well. We're the only customer support platform that's designed exclusively for product companies because of that more nuanced and sometimes layered troubleshooting nature. So it sounds like you've been able to turn customer support organization at Frontpoint into a lever to build that customer trust and provide additional value. Whereas with most companies, they see customer support as a pure cost center. So what metrics are you looking at when you measure the effectiveness of your customer support, if you're going beyond just cost savings, and how do you capture that value?
That's a great question. For us, the reputation and the trust of our customers and those that are engaging us is extremely important. We've made a big focus on ensuring that any kind of external reputation that we have is positive, and that people are engaging us if they are having any challenges with the product. And that has been a big area of focus for us. We've made that our competitive advantage because we put so much focus to having a premium product, but also having a premium customer experience from end to end. And so how we've developed that as part of the flow is ensuring that when we put the Mavenoid workflow in place, that it wasn't a barrier, but it was a path that customers wanted to engage. And so we manage that by looking at who's actually completing the flows. Are they rating the flow positively? Are they saying that this did solve their problem, or are they abandoning along the way? So two of the core metrics that we look at are the completion rate of the flows themselves, as well as the abandonment rate, and then how they're rating the respective flow if they complete it. Internally, we also have a CSAT or a customer satisfaction rating, as well as the Net Promoter Score, NPS, and we monitor both of those metrics as well. And that was a big component for us when we implemented Mavenoid, to ensure that we kept those standards high, from our CSAT being over 90% and our NPS being in the 50 to 60%. And so for us, ensuring that those metrics continued, as well as layering in an internal quality assurance score, those were the mechanisms that we used to ensure that we were meeting our customers' expectations, and then monitoring it by the reputational scores through things like Trustpilot and Better Business Bureau and other resources externally.
That's great. Those are some great customer satisfaction NPS scores. You're really taking care of your customers. So I understand you've recently implemented Mavenoid's Dynamic Help Center. Can you share a bit more about that change from the standard online help center with static support articles that we all know from many brands to this more personalized experience that's delivering only the most relevant support materials to a user's question?
It's been a bit of a journey and getting to where we are now, but we're very excited with with the current support site versus what we had prior to implementing the Mavenoid support center. And the reason for it is prior customers were searching and we were only as good as the knowledge articles that we had created, and we were only as good as the improvements we were making to the search index. And so when customers were getting stuck, we weren't finding as much of the data to be able to refine the material. And we also weren't meeting them the way that they wanted with images and product workflows that we've been able to incorporate with Mavenoid and the new support center. And so for those that like to just search the keywords and find an article, they still have what they need. But those that want to see an image of their particular door and window sensor or a particular product component, they can click through, they identify it from the picture, and then they have an actual product guide walking them through. So the resolution rate has been higher. We've seen a higher customer satisfaction as they've gone through that flow. And it's because we're engaging different users in the way that they want to go through the support experience.
Great. That's really helpful to understand. A final question, what strategies and tools do you recommend for other teams?
So I think in implementing any self-service solution, I mean, as a customer experience leader and advocate, I would say definitely focus on more of the resolution rate versus the deflection rate, just first and foremost. But the other would be, I'm a big proponent of the methodology knowledge-centered service, or KCS. And KCS talks about two different portions of the solution process, which is the solve and evolve loop. And with the solve loop, it's understanding why customers are contacting you. So looking at the customer demand and really creating content based on that customer demand. So starting with the Mavenoid flows that are for your top 5, top 10 reasons for contact, but based on that customer engagement, the calls that you're taking, the chats that you're taking, or why they're engaging your current web form or email, whatever channels you have set. So I think that would be number one. And then the other is monitoring that content and the flows that you set up to then evolve the content. And so seeing, again, the flows that they're abandoning, or ones that need additional guidance because they're leading to escalation or they're leading to contact to your team, and evolving that content and really building that as part of your process. And when you have those two, you'll notice that the resolution rate goes up, your CSAT goes up, and you're starting to see that there are components that you can build into the product yourself, because you can then use that as, hey, well, this is something that we obviously should make as part of our core offering, because customers are having to go through this flow. So you can almost use the Mavenoid data to enhance your product experience if you farm that data right.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your insights, for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate it. So thanks again, and hopefully everybody learned a great deal today. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Greer.
Thank you.